Good day, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I'm your host, the voice of reason. So, in today's coverage of the ongoing conflict inside of the Tigray region, I can report that the recent Eritrean offensive into central Tigray, which is not really an offensive per se, and I'll explain that a little more here in a second, has been, for the most part, defeated by the Tigrayan Defense Forces. So the reality of this quote unquote offensive that has been reported by the Eritrean army into central Tigray is actually more or less a defensive operation to keep the B-30 highway open. So the goal of some of these recent operations by the Eritrean army has been to move south from the B-30 highway in hopes of pushing elements of the Tigrayan Defense Forces away from the B-30 highway to allow Eritrea to continue to supply its forces along the main towns and cities along the Bravo 30 highway. So that would include Shire, Adwa, Axum, Adigrat. But that was the goal of some of these recent operations, not so much as a all-out offensive to push into central Tigray and to defeat the Tigrayan Defense Forces, but this now would appear simply somewhat of a defensive operation to alleviate pressure on its supply lines along the B-30 highway. And again, reports coming in would say that the Eritrean army in these operations, since they have left their defensive positions in some of these major towns in the north, have led to rather severe casualties of the Eritrean army. There are some reports that stipulate that the casualties suffered by the Eritrean army in the hill fighting that has taken place south of the B-30 highway has numbered in the thousands in terms of both KIA and wounded. Again, that's difficult to confirm, but it would appear that this operation by the Eritrean army has been negated and probably will not be continuing in scope. At the same time, we're getting reports out of the Tigray region that the Tigrayan Defense Forces have now reached a full mobilization capacity. We're now seeing units being fielded by the Tigrayan Defense Forces that have actually more personnel than weapons able to hand out to certain groups of fighters. So the initial reports would claim as many as 100,000 volunteers have joined the actual fighting elements of the TDF, and active, permanent, full-time fighters would probably be in the neighborhood of about 50,000, I believe, here at Military Foreign Affairs Network. But again, that full mobilization has been reached, and we've seen many videos coming out of the region in which we see TDF units marching in column or having morale enhancement exercises where you'll see them singing and what have you, and their morale appears to be fairly high considering what's kind of been happening. But the big issue right now is that full mobilization, and then what comes next. So we're hearing things trickle out of the region that would indicate a fairly significant operation is being planned, or could be in the very early stages for the TDF in some sort of counteroffensive. Where that takes place, could it take place on multiple fronts? Given the full mobilization that has been reached, that's a possibility. It looks like the TDF is looking both south and north in terms of targets that it could be going after in terms of the Amhara region, and then obviously the targets of the Eritrean army to the north in the cities of Shire, Axum, Adwa, Adigrat, and then obviously you could not discount further operations against the Ethiopian National Army along in and around Mekelle. That is again fairly heavily fortified with a significant force composition in and around Mekelle. Would the TDF go after Mekelle? Again, it's hard to say. But again, with this full mobilization reached, I would anticipate sooner rather than later we start to see some sort of enhanced activity by the Tigrayan Defense Forces. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.